rate certified most accurate forecast. Fox 54 weather.
I got a serious question, and I know you've been doing it for a little bit of time.
Oh, thank you. I have.
What is your initial thought when you see severe weather? Like, do you ever feel any fear?
No. Only once in my life have I felt any sort of fear in regards to severe weather.
And on a scale from 1 to 10, are you feeling any fear with this severe weather coming up?
No, it's not my job to feel fear. It is my job to inform and to write a forecast, and that's what I attempt to do on a daily basis. I try not to be scared because if by chance I were to get scared of severe weather, other people are probably going to get scared, and we just can't have that.
That's why you do the weather and I don't, because I'm scared of literally raindrops.
Which we saw a lot of this morning across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. You probably noticed it as you headed out the door for work. You sent the kids off to the school bus. It was a wet morning across the Tennessee Valley when it was all said and done. Many of us got a half an inch to an inch of additional rainfall. We are nice and quiet this evening, and I expect radar is going to stay that way as we head into the overnight and then early into your Wednesday morning. By the time we get to Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, we are talking about our next threat for severe weather across the Tennessee Valley. Looks like the greatest risk is going to be across northeast Alabama, all of Jackson, DeKalb, and Marshall counties, most of Coleman County, and then portions of Madison and Morgan counties sitting under an enhanced risk for severe weather. This does not involve the Huntsville metro area, and then somewhat obviously does not involve the city of Madison. If you were looking for a specific location that may not see any severe weather at all across the Tennessee Valley, that would be northwest Alabama, Lauderdale, Colbert, down into Franklin County, and then some of our friends up in southern Middle Tennessee, up in Giles County, also sitting under a marginal risk for severe weather. All modes of severe weather are going to be possible. Large hail is going to be the least of our concerns. We're going to be focused on the damaging wind threat and the heavy rain threat. The opportunity is there for an isolated tornado, especially in this enhanced risk area across northeast Alabama. Now, all of that said, this is very much a conditional threat for severe weather. If items A, B, C, D, and E do not happen, then we're probably not talking about severe weather across the Tennessee Valley. This is not one of those set in stone days. This is very much a conditional threat where everything has to fall into place ever so perfectly for that threat for severe weather to come to fruition. This is what I got for you by the time we get to the earliest hours of Wednesday morning. A mostly cloudy or an overcast sky. Looks like we'll maintain that as we head into the heart of the morning commute. Really not going to be the greatest morning commute across the Tennessee Valley, not because we're going to be dealing with a lot of rain, but just in general, it's really not going to look that great with ample cloud cover. Now, we are going to begin to see some breaks in that cloud cover as we head into the later part of the morning, early into the afternoon. At the same time, we're also going to begin to see the opportunity for just a couple of light, isolated showers. At the lunch hour, we're not talking about any threat for severe weather across the Tennessee Valley. That's not until we get to the later part of the afternoon and then early into the evening as this somewhat disorganized, broken line of showers and thunderstorms moves into northeast Alabama. Looks like this entire system as it approaches the Tennessee Valley is going to weaken somewhat, but then it looks like it'll strengthen as it moves into northeast Alabama. And that's why we see that higher threat for severe weather across Jackson, DeKalb, and then down into Marshall counties. Now, this isn't the most organized thing in the world. Looks like we could be talking about some supercells. Those supercells obviously taking on some severe characteristics, heavy rain, damaging winds, and then an isolated tornado is possible if and only if all of our severe weather ingredients actually come together. We need to have the dew points in the low and mid 60s. We need to have a fair amount of instability. Some of those things we may just not have. By the time we get to the early part of the overnight and then early into your Thursday morning, we do begin to dry out and clear out across the Tennessee Valley. That is going to set the stage for a much different weather pattern. By the time we get to the lunch hour on Thursday, winds out of the north, ushering in some much cooler air. Looks like that weather pattern is only going to be reinforced once we get to Thursday night, early into Friday morning through the first half of Friday afternoon. Winds still out of the south. Temperatures really failing to warm up across the Tennessee Valley. Just 62 on Thursday. Look at that though. 53 on Friday. Low temperatures Saturday and Sunday. No, these aren't typos. They shouldn't be flip-flopped. We're going to start the day Saturday. We're going to start the day Sunday in the mid 30s. Saturday we only climb into the low and mid 50s. That's disgusting. And then Sunday temperatures do actually manage to climb into the mid and upper 60s. Lower 70s by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday of next week. That's all I got for you this evening. Here's what's coming up in sports.